Hello everybody, this is Rashid, English language expert. Retell lecture task of PTE is not what the title of this task suggests. You really don't have to memorize or organize and reproduce whatever the audio had. You only need to note down 12 to 14 keywords while you're listening to the lecture and then speak them out. Even if your sentences are totally nonsense, they have no sequence at all, there is no organization, or they're full of grammatical mistakes. None of these things are going to matter and you can still get 100% marks. So in this video, I'll look at the fourth task of PTE, which is retell lecture. This task can be scary because you have to listen and at the same time you're taking down notes and then you're understanding the audio, or you may worry that you don't have enough words. So there are lots of things, but in this video I'm gonna make this task super easy for you. So in this video I'll tell you how this task is presented, what is the format of this task, the marking criteria, tips and tricks, and the most important thing, the template that is very useful to navigate and do well in this. So what you will get is 1 to 2 items in the real test. The audio can be anywhere from 40 to 90 seconds. Sometimes it is accompanied by an image, but even if there is an image, don't have to worry about it. Just focus on the audio itself. And then you will have 10 seconds to prepare and 40 seconds to answer your question. This is how the task is going to look like. As you can see, this is the audio bar where you can see how long is the audio. And once the audio is over, you can monitor that once the audio is over, you will have to start speaking because the mic will open right after 10 seconds of the ending of the audio. So once the mic opens, you have to start speaking within the first 3 seconds of this, and then you will have 40 seconds. So you can monitor your progress right here, and from here you can check how much time is left for your answer. This task will be marked for 3 things: pronunciation, fluency, and content. Pronunciation means how clearly you are producing the words, how easy it is for the computer to record your answer. And then fluency means the speed and the rhythm with which you are speaking. And lastly, the content, how much of the content from the audio you are taking and reproducing in your answer. So now I'm going to tell you a few things that you need to do when you're listening to the audio. Number 1 is that you need to take very clear notes, because you might be writing very quickly and some of your notes could be half written, or you're writing in short forms. This can be very problematic because you're writing in a hurry, and when you look at your notes later, you won't be able to understand what you wrote. You won't be able to understand your own writing. So you need to take notes very clearly and write full words, no short forms. And then you need to write 12 to 14 keywords and choose the words which are simple. You don't have to copy the phrases. If you're writing down the phrases, this could be difficult to write, and then it will be difficult to speak as well. So only keywords. Keywords means one word. So do not write phrases, just keywords. And 12 to 15 keywords are fine. So when you're listening, choose the words which are simple. Do not try to choose which are bigger, complex, because the type of the vocabulary, the fancy words, they are not going to contribute to your marks. They only have to be the keywords from the audio, whether they are thick, big, or small words. So it's better to choose the words which are simple, which are easy to reproduce, and which are easy to speak. So leave the words which you think are difficult for you to pronounce. And then don't panic if you have skipped some part of the audio. You don't have to pick the keywords from the beginning of the audio or in the middle of the audio or at the end of the audio. The keywords from any part of the audio are fine. So just focus on whatever the audio is left and choose the words from there. And when you're listening to the audio, you don't have to focus on the meaning. It is because you don't have to reproduce the same meaning that you are listening to the audio. What this task requires you is to only pick the keywords, even if when they are put into your speech they are meaningless, but only those words have to be there. Because when you're focusing meaning, you won't be able to take down the notes clearly and accurately. And then don't write a lot of content, and don't start writing the full sentences or try to paraphrase or rephrase whatever you are hearing. Your job is to get the maximum keywords which the speaker is speaking in the random manner, in the random order. So just those keywords are going to do the job. And now let's talk about what you should do during speaking. So during speaking, you got to be very careful because this task has lots of marks for fluency. So you should focus your fluency. Speak at your natural pace. Do not hesitate. Do not do mumbling or fumbling. No autocorrection and no pauses. And then secondly, it's not required to expertly organize your ideas. If the ideas are coming random to you, don't worry about it. This is not a speaking test in IELTS. In speaking IELTS, you really have to create coherence of your ideas. But here, it doesn't matter. And then totally ignore grammar. Don't worry about the mistakes that you're making because the grammar is not going to contribute as well to the marks. So even if the sentences are wrong, you made a mistake, just keep going, don't look back. Just go with the simple intro of what this lecture was about and then add the 12 to 14 keywords in conclusion. Keep it very simple and straightforward. Lastly, if during listening you could not create enough content, you have got only 6 to 7 keywords, repeat those keywords in your talk so that you can make it a little longer. Lastly, the 20 to 30 seconds of your speech is going to do the job. So here is the template that is going to perfectly work for this task. As you can see, the lecture gave important information about, so first of all, just start with the topic. This is the particular sentence that you can use. And then followed by that, you can add the keywords using this sentence. Firstly, he mentioned about keywords 1, 2, and 3. And he also discussed about 4, 5, and 6. And then he also mentioned 7, 8, 9. These are the number of the keywords that I'm mentioning here. He also told about 10, 11, 12, and 13. And lastly, to conclude, the lecture was very informative. You may be a little bit surprised by the simplicity of these sentences, that these are very simple sentences, how they're going to get you marks, but actually keep it just as simple as this template is. Also, when you're taking your notes, write down 3 keywords in one line and then 3 words in next second line and then 3 keywords in the next line. This will be very helpful for you when you are using this template and adding those keywords in your speech. For example, the lecturer gave important information about survival of life. Firstly, he mentioned about sensitive, biodiversity, and earth. He also discussed about pollution, hazards, and system. He also mentioned helpful, reach, and mechanism. He also told about solution, ignorance, and reality. To conclude, the lecture was informative. So this is how you do this task. Keep it simple and straightforward. Don't try to be over smart in this. If you're worrying about grammar and the fancy words, they are going to affect your fluency. So the fluency is something that you have to prioritize and give importance to and sacrifice the grammar or the fancy words. So let me summarize this lecture. What we have discussed today is a retell lecture, and we have observed that in this task, the grammar is not one of the big things or the beauty of the language. It only requires you to just catch a few words from the audio and then using a template, use those words and speak those words in your answer. That's what you have to do. 20 to 30 seconds answer is okay. If you're not able to catch a lot of words, you couldn't get like more than 6 words or 7 words, even then it's fine. You can only continue to repeat those sentences in just following the template. This is also going to work perfectly. During the audio, keep your focus on the keywords and don't try to understand the meanings, because the meaning is going to distract you from focusing the keywords. Also, the template has to be 100% memorized and practiced. Don't rely on just reading the template that, okay, this template looks very simple, I would be able to do it even without reading or memorize it. But remember, until you have done lots of practice, this template is not going to be, it's going to be a little bit shaky. You won't be able to have full grip on this. So practice is the most important thing. At least you should do about 40 to 50 tests of practice so that you get full fluent on this template that you are memorizing. If you like this video, please do like it and hit subscribe button. Thank you very much. I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.